thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this special coverage. If you're just joining, please hit your share button. Hit your share button. This is ID Mind Media, Radio and Television. I just come on because I want to bring some very important point raised up during the debate, the Ambazonian presidential debate that just passed. It was a wonderful debate. We saw argument and counter argument. We saw great ideas bring forth, and this is what we are talking about. I will bet you that after the debate, I was very impressed because I see democracy in the making. So, if you are just joining the show, know that we are live on Facebook and live on YouTube. I want to make sure that I bring up some important points raised up during the debate, and I will tell you that the quality of the performance was so good. I am so impressed that we are seeing democracy in Ambazonia, real democracy in Ambazonia. So hit the share button and share if you are just joining. I just want to give some very important points that were raised during this debate to let you understand how committed these candidates are to this struggle, and I'll be talking on those points. So hit your share button and stay tuned for this special show. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the Ambazonian presidential debate recap and analysis. I am here to give a rundown of what happened during the debate and what I saw as very favorable, and what I can say is democracy working in Africa, democracy working in Ambazonia. That is what we are talking about. This is one of the first presidential debates, and it shows to the world that Ambazonians are ready for their own independence, for their own recognition. It is very nice that we saw the reaction of the audience. But I want to first thank Dr. Ngwambe, who moderated this Thursday night, this debate. So Dr. Ngwambe and the chairman of ECA, Honorable Reverend Chang, who also had brilliance in his questioning. I'm praising also Dr. Ngwambe for his questioning, those good questions and ability to maintain order throughout the debate. It was fun. I want to give some grades to these two wonderful candidates that took part in the debate. One, I want to let you know that their messaging was very good. They, based on those grades, whether you agree with the candidate message, but if the clear and concise message is gone through, it is good. So the messaging was very good. I want to allow Secretary Chris for that. He was so fluent in his messaging, and I praise him for that. The second part I want to talk about is the pattern of their presentation. The delivery was good. The overall delivery of the ideas was very, very nice, and that is what I was looking for. The beauty of this great presentation and the delivery was very, very good. That is what the panelists are looking about. Then the third aspect of the debate from the presidential candidate was the tone of the voice. The tone of the voice was very clear. There was a passion, when you have a clear tone of voice, it shows passion. That passion, and the character, that describes those effective candidature. And I want to laud both of them for that. It was a very good tone of voice. They were so calm. They were very, very understanding, and they followed the rules of the debate. The time, they were very conscious on time, and that is very important, because in debate some candidate will go too above the time limit, and it tends out to disrupt the process of the debate. But I want to laud both of them for that it was a great debate, and I hope the next debate that comes on the 1st of September will also be great. And I also want to mention the absence of the incumbent president. For now, I don't know why she was absent from the debate, but I want to laud the two candidates that made it. But it is very, 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 very important that candidates appear for debate, because debate has its own merits, So even though we should not mistake debate, the enthusiasm for voter enthusiasm, those are two different things. Some people can win in the debate, but when it comes to the election, it turns out to be the opposite. So this first debate was a very powerful turnout. I think we saw that the viewership was great. In ABS TV, AFTV, it was good, and I saw how the people were really willing to listen to both candidates, and that is what debate is. Debates sometimes, even though they rarely sway voters who have already made up some choices, but sometimes if one candidate does particularly well, or maybe commits an embarrassing gaffe, maybe makes some mistakes, that debate can tilt. Sometimes it tilts to those undecided voters. So I see in this election it will be something like that. I hope that the next debate, the incumbent will be around. I hope, because there is no question that debates help elect many presidents. We have seen that in the US, where most presidents perform very well in debate, and they win the elections. So I think the next debate should be attended by the incumbent president, who was absent in this one. But let's go into the ideas and the facts that or the line of questioning that we had from the moderators. The question, what strikes me more about the debate was the question of international reaction to the Ambazonian quest for independence. I love the way Secretary Chris answered that question, because he said he's going to visit African Union, he's going to visit NATO, he's going to visit EU, UK. A lot of organizations that he said he's going to visit to knock the doors of this country. Because according to Secretary Chris, he said that African Union have failed to take action, and that is true. We have not seen African Union in anything that concerns Africa. The treatment of Africans across the globe, African Union has been silent. And not to talk of the wars going on in Africa, we don't see action from African Union. Instead, the EU will come on, the other organizations out of Africa will come on and make decisions in Africa when there is African Union there. So Secretary Chris mentioned a lot about these other countries that we need to really visit, and he said those countries, even though they have that shared economic interest, it is very important that we have that kind of cordial relationship with them, so that at some point we can see how we can relate with them in terms of shared interests. There's no way now it is very difficult for a country to help you without knowing what you give back. It's just not working like that. You can have a country come to your support without telling the country, okay, you're going to help us win this war. And you see, that's what happens in any organization or any MOU, memorandum of understanding. You have to tell the other party what you can, what you are ready to to lose, and what you're ready to gain for the understanding. So I like at that point where Secretary Chris put that idea of visiting different organizations, not only visiting countries. He said he's going to visit a lot of countries to put our case to the table. And that is a very good idea. What has been missing in this struggle, where we have presidents who sit in one position, they sit in the comfort of their homes and say they are president. At least we understand there was COVID, there was coronavirus then. There were no traveling. They were trying, borders were closed. We understand, but now that borders are open, there is no excuse. People are traveling freely. There's no restrictions on gatherings. So I doubt what is going on when it comes to meet the people tours. I allowed Secretary Chris for that because I know he's going to do it. I'm very, very confident that he is going to move around the world and talk to Ambazonians, talk to people who can donate. And I saw that in the debate. It was very good news. Getrude also mentioned something about that, but not as strong as in terms of what she can really do, because this is not about just say I'll work with this country, but you have to know how the situation will be like a win-win, because in any deal that you're doing, there should be that win-win thing. That's what we are talking about. The questioning on making a deal with the devil was asked by the moderator, Dr. Ngwambe, which is France. A lot of things came up from here, but what I picked up from the answer from Secretary Chris was to make sure that the situation is worked on in terms of saving the life of the Ambazonian people. There was that aspect of defense and humanitarian situation where we are asked of if working with the devil is a good idea, but I think sometimes it is very, very questionable in terms of collaboration, in terms of diplomacy, in terms of anything you want to do. Everything should be questionable, and it's a matter of not like in terms of general consensus. It should be a matter of particular countries. Not all the countries will have the same treatment in terms of collaboration, in terms of how to deal with the situation. So I just want to make us understand that it is not about having the advantage over taking those, but we have to know about what are we going to gain in this relationship, because relationship starts from where you say, okay, this is about this is about this. So there's always that memorandum of understanding. We have seen a lot of countries go into deals with China and France, but from what we understand, Secretary Chris emphasized on economic sabotage. That is very good, where you can have that economic sabotage on countries that are trying to usurp our resources, like France, like China. We are going to work with you if you are ready to work with us. But if you are ready to come and steal our resources, it will not work that way. It's a win-win situation. Countries go into those deals, signing deals, because there's that win-win. Nobody will sign a deal where you lose, like La Republic is doing. La Republic is signing deals with country when they are getting nothing. They just want to sell anything for any money, any amount of money. They don't care how much they sell the timber. They don't care how much they sell the oil. They don't care how much they sell the rubber. So far as the rubber is there, is growing, they are selling it. And they don't even care the consequences on the population. So we're not going to do that at the detriment of the, as Secretary Chris mentioned in the debate. So then there was this question also about advocacy of the prioritizing about defense. It's putting 90% for defense, 10% for humanitarian, then 0% for diplomacy. The question was asked to both candidates, but I like the way Secretary Chris made it clear. Defense is priority, but humanitarian is also made priority, while diplomacy is also a priority. Diplomacy cannot be zero, like it has happened in recent years, where we see presidents don't even pay visits to these politicians, to diplomats, to ambassadors. They don't even do that. How do you be a president where you will not pay visit to these people? They want to see a visit from you. They want to see a letter of visit from you. Pay a visit to these people. I like Secretary Chris made mention of that, and it was very nice that he said he will visit most of these diplomats, and prioritize defense, which is the number one. The second about humanitarian issues, and it's very important when it comes to that, and it should be a point of focus for the candidates. The mentioning of Black Lives Matter question was also very important, because we saw Black Lives Matter, but according to Secretary Chris, the candidates have their own choices, because Black Lives Matter to Ambazonians, right? But if Ambazonians cannot help Ambazonians, how can you say Black Lives Matter? So it is about choices. It's about who you can help, who is a black. And if you think that Black Lives Matter, but you cannot help a black brother or a black sister, why do you say Black Lives Matter? Black life is just like white life or any other life, because you are trying to say only Black Lives Matter, but you cannot help your black brothers. Come on now. It doesn't work like that. Ambazonians are suffering. There are Ambazonians who can help Ambazonians, but they don't help. So how can you say you can help your brother when Black Lives Matter? That question was a good question, because we really need to have good funding and see how we can balance this the various. And the question came about balancing the funding. It has always been a problem when some counties and LGAs are doing well, the other ones are not doing well. Some countries and LGAs are very hot in terms of what is going on, like the military, while other counties are not that hot. So that is a balance and imbalancing that the question came during the debate. But I like what Secretary Chris mentioned, because I know he knows much when it comes to this, about dealing with those countries that really need them in terms of action, because there are certain action that takes place in certain villages that are not significant, because the areas don't affect La Republique's base. They can hit 2 or 3 La Republique soldiers or do what, but if it doesn't have an impact on their movement or on their establishment within Amazonia, it was not going to be taken serious. So we see Secretary Chris talking about this. It is very important when it comes to that issue of balancing the funds, not especially the counties that are not productive. It was a good question because that is very important that the federal government, we know they have like my trip to Boya was mismanaged. We know that the draft was also mismanaged because even though they gave 20% to the government, the federal government, but we saw a lot of mismanagement also by some LGAs, and the government of Sako helped those LGAs to use up the money, because most of the last draft that we had, the money never came to the LGA coffers. They stayed in Sako. So the Sako government used that advantage of his impeachment and caused a lot of chaos. I hope that this incumbent president will not do the same, because it is a soil in your image when you have opportunity to come and debate and you don't come. It's the same thing that Sako did by not going for election. He said the election, whether what, he said the time for the election was not ripe or what. But he swore the Bible. You swore an oath to the Constitution. You swore an oath to the institution. So there is no excuse for you not running for election. There is no excuse for you not going for debate. There is no excuse because you know the consequences of those actions from the past presidents. That during elections, it's the same thing. During elections, Siseko's own was different because he was in jail, and it's just like, okay, you are in jail, stay there. Let's see how we can run the thing from outside, and we're gonna be giving you country rendu from inside. Siseko said no, he wanted to remain the president. Sako came. He said, "Oh no. He cannot respect the Restoration Council. No, who are they? How can they come and control him? He's the president." Those are the people who put you to power, but when you came to power, you don't respect them. So this guy decided not to go for any election. He refused to hold any debate. He even refused to be vetted. They came to do some checks and balance for the finances. He never showed up. They say, okay, come for interview. Let's interview you to defend yourself in the Restoration Council. He never showed up. What do you what tells you about that kind of behavior? Is when somebody is guilty, then you pretend, you bring other excuses. It's when you catch a thief, you know who is a thief the way the thief behaves. Nobody will tell you that, because look, I've interviewed a lot of criminals. I work in the law enforcement. I'll tell you, when we do interviews, we know who is a criminal. We know, because we know our line of questioning. We know what you're doing to avoid those criminal acts that you have done. So what I'm saying is, if somebody is guilty, you know already because of the behavior. Sako was very, very guilty. You cannot refuse to go for interview. You cannot refuse to be vetted. You cannot refuse to go for an interview with the Restoration Council. How can you do that? They are the one you swore oath. You say you're going to lead for 2 years and go for election. If you are re-elected, then you continue. That was as simple as that. But Sako did not go. Anyway, that was the failure I was talking about. Sako did not give 20% for the draft because of bad accountability. The counties that need help, we need to know the counties that need help and how they can move that money that can work in those counties that don't have more financial support, from the other counties. That is very important, and I allowed Secretary Chris for that. He mentioned that, and he talked about they're funding those other communities that need help, because there's a lot of imbalance, as you can see. Talking about these presidential election, I'm very grateful that the debate was very special. It offered that kind of glimpse, for the candidate to do some analysis of what they can do unscripted. They don't have to read like speeches. You see how they can analyze word verbatim. They can say what they can do. That's good for a debate. That's what most people expect from any leader, any president vying for the post. And I hope that the final debate between Comrade Chris and the other candidates will be good to watch, because this first one was good. Talking about the fundraising for this, I think fundraising has been an issue. Like we all know, fundraising has been an issue. So Secretary Chris promised to use different strategy. He promised not to use the same strategy that others have used. Trying to squeeze funds from one angle, then the other angles is non-existent. So he said he promised to deal with that financial and resource and mobilization in a very special manner, and I'm very grateful for that, because it is very important for us to have a leader that can raise funds in all directions, not just focus on Ambazonians or the Ambazonian that don't even have money. You focus on Ambazonian that cannot even pay the monthly dues. When the Ambazonian that are ready to pay, but you don't visit them, you don't even talk to them. Some Ambazonians, you consider them as enemies. We are all Ambazonians. We don't have to have enemies. We have to learn to talk to each other. We learn to talk to each other. That's why Secretary Chris mentioned about that, that he was chastised for bringing people like Mark Barata on ABS. Not to talk of Tapang Ivos. Even some were not happy of Bo Herbert going on ABS TV. But because when you have that mentality of bringing people together, there are some people who anything you do that is tantamount to their position, they are not happy. That is what was happening with the former President Sako. He was very, very unstable when it comes to reaching out to some leaders. That he was more concerned about the fact that they can come and take his position. You know what I'm saying? So it's a matter of not even a matter of that collaboration is not good, but they'll be chastising Secretary Chris. Why do you talk to this leader? Why do you bring this leader on ABS TV? Why do you do this on ABC TV? Why do you? So it was just like kind of pressure on someone who is trying to see the good things in people, because it's about seeing good stuff in people. When you always see bad things on people, it's not good. When you spend your time on looking at the bad side of a man, you will never see the good side. Secretary Chris was there trying to look at the good side of these people, because you can't spend your time like you are you are the leader, but you don't want to collaborate. When one of your cabinet members want to collaborate, you say no, you are not ready for that. You will not be ready for that collaboration. You don't want that collaboration. Come on. But what else do you want? How do you help your fellow cabinet members to reach out if you don't want them to reach out? That is the doom of that aspect or that period of the struggle, where most well-to-do Ambazonians that can donate a lot of money in this struggle, were left out. And at the end of the day, that is where we are today. So we need Secretary Chris. We need a leader that can change the dynamics. A leader that can say, okay, I want this change. I want this to happen. I want these people to collaborate. As he mentioned in the debate, it was a very good suggestion that he made. I like that idea of collaboration. That aspect of making a consortium of leaders, as he said, which is not like calling him Mr. President all the time. When leaders they have their own group too. You cannot stop somebody from having their group that they already had. They were there, like Egof. Ayaba will not leave Egosi. You can do whatever you want. Ayaba will never leave Egosi. Or you go and tell Akwanga to leave his Sokadev or the APLM. He will never leave it. Comrade Bo will never leave his I forgot the name of the organization he leads, but it's all about organization that they have, and so far as they are working in line with Rishin Boya, I don't see any problem with collaboration. Yeah. The issue of this aspect of being productivity was asked by Dr. Ngwambe. Productivity is very important because we see a lot of generals in some powerful regions, like FMK of Lebi-Alem, FM Nopiti for Bui, Grandpa, Okoro, Tenkobo, transporter of Meme. Those are the few of the many generals that are really productive. You hear them, you see them, you feel them, you feel their presence that they are around. So it's an issue that Secretary Chris mentioned, that he will rally all these people, and the productivity of firepower will not be relented. You're gonna see a lot of firepower. All these generals will be reactivated, whether they are dead, whether they are alive. Yes, they will be reactivated from their graves. They will wake up and fight. Yes, so Secretary Chris is ready. As he said he's ready to make sure that all these guys wake up and save the land. Yes, the land of Ambazonia. Yeah. The issue of the question about Ghost Town was also mentioned. The chairman of the ECA asked this question about the benefit of Ghost Town to the struggle. How beneficial is Ghost Town to the struggle? But the way Secretary Chris answered the question was very good, because it stands as a symbol to the struggle. But the fact of those lengthy lockdowns is not good, according to what he said. But he said it's very necessary for the Monday Ghost Town to keep going. We remember the normal Country Sunday that we have, initiated by Pa Tasang, you remember. And he said we're gonna keep that one. Is fixed. That one is unshaken. The other days of lockdown, he said he's gonna help to collaborate more, so that when there's any lockdown, all the ground zero forces and all the leaders are in one accord, so that there's no kind of discrepancy when it comes to that. Then, talking of school reopening, it was very important to mention about the school reopening, but he mentioned the community and private institutions, not government schools. He said there will be no opening of government schools. According to him, he talked about honoring all the fallen heroes like they do in America. You remember America, all the veterans, they have a lot of benefits that they give to them and their families. So that is what he said he's going to do. He's going to help make sure that all the fallen heroes and their families will be taken care of, and making sure that it boosts the fighting spirit of Ambazonians, and that is good because when a fighter is fighting and he knows that there will be that help to take them, maybe to take care of the wife or the mother or the father, especially when they are not there, the fighter will be, will be made to really keep fighting for the struggle. He knows that he has given his life. If he's not there, the government, the federal government of Ambazonia, will at least do something to take care of their wives, their children, because all these fighters have children, they have wives, and at least that's a good move from Secretary Chris. And I'm very grateful that we are seeing democracy working, because it is good to always respect the voices. And election is the only time when the voice of the people is heard. We have to avoid making leaders like idol worshippers. Don't idolize leaders, because you tend them to be like what we have there in La Republique now today, where you make leaders to become kings when we don't have a kingdom. You see what is happening in La Republique. The leaders have been made to, all these things of motion of support, all these things of, going to do this, it's what has spoiled that country, La Republique. And we have not, we don't have to copy that. It's a bad example of any country in the world where you have a leader being treated as a king, and when time of election comes, you help the leader to rig election. You help a leader to rig election, and that is not good. So I just want to say, please, let's avoid that, and let's work on making sure when you are having any type of electoral process, respect that process. It's a process that makes a country democratic. If you don't respect the process, what kind of country are you trying to build? What kind of nation building do you think you can do without democracy? Then it's better we just stay with La Republique, as many people say, because you cannot say you are doing a democratic nation, but you cannot respect elections. You cannot respect simple elections. Who do you want to respect? Who do you want to respect? There's no way you can say no, the election is rigged. Election is rigged when the election has not even taken place. You started bringing all sort of complaints. Election is rigged. So I just want to thank Secretary Chris for saying that he will work with everyone. He promised to work with everyone, all the leaders. Whoever want to work with him, he is ready to work with them when he wins. And that's what we want. We want a president that is welcoming, a president that will put people together, bring people together. That's what we want. If you are that type of person that only create problems, or you are happy when there is problem, that's how former president was, Sako. He was very contented when an LGA or a county is having a problem. He will want that problem to be there for him to stay relevant. Instead of resolving the problems that all the counties were facing, he will just send some delegates there, then they will go there and come back and say, they write a report. That's it. He will never even visit to know what is happening in that LGA or the county. That is a problem. And if you don't have that skill of problem solving, you are not ready to be a leader. You are not ready to be a leader. You have to know problem solving skills. It's needed for you to resolve problems happening within the cabinet and within the LGAs and counties. That's what we are talking here. And even issues with negotiation. Because if you cannot even negotiate, because solving a problem is negotiating that problem. And if you cannot negotiate a problem, you are not ready to be a leader, because you have a lot of problems that will come to you. You are like the father. If you cannot manage your small family, gathering your small family members, how can you manage 8 million people? That is what we need leaders who know what is called problem solving. Because we are in a big problem, which is a war. War is a problem. You cannot separate anything from this and that. You say, no, this war is a problem. How do you, if you cannot solve the little problem, how do you solve the war problem? When we go to the negotiation table, are you a good negotiator? Are you a good person that, are you skilled in negotiation? Can you help Ambazonia resolve their problems? That is the question. We want that type of leader. I see that in Secretary Chris, because I've worked with him up front. I've dealt with him in many capacities. And I'll tell you that that guy, man, he is committed in this thing. I'm telling you. Whenever I work with him, I will see a person that is committed. Nobody will tell you that this person is committed. I don't need someone to tell me about whoever. I don't need that. I see it myself. I can judge right from wrong. I know what is right. I know what is wrong. I know who is committed. I know who is not committed. You don't need to tell me you are committed. Don't tell me anything. I don't need. I just see it. It is there. It's clear. It's not hidden. So when you are committed, we see it. You are there in the struggle. You are taking part in something. Just do your part. That's what it is. That's what Secretary Chris has been doing. He has been doing his part in this struggle. You cannot say somebody will spend, even you spend 3 hours on TV, it's too much. It's too much sacrifice when it comes to America. When some people say, oh, Secretary Chris is not working, he's not doing this. You know, in America we have jobs like working from home, IT jobs. You know, there are people with 3 jobs at IT that pay $100 per each job. In America, IT, you are working from home. You have like 4 computers on your desk. You are working from home. I know people who have about 3 IT jobs. I don't want to talk much about somebody's privacy, but I will tell you that if you talk about America, anybody in America that you will say that person is not working, I'll tell you it's a fat lie, because you don't know America. If you're in this America that I know, you say that person is not working, then you are lying, because you have to first appreciate the time that person is coming to take. Because in America there are jobs as if they are even begging people to come to look for job. In America, they don't advertise job like, oh, there is job, this is a job offer. No, they say help. In America, they call job now help. You don't know. So when somebody say, oh, this man is America, is not working or is not doing the, no, the person is working. There are many ways to work in this America that you can see in the house. Some people are paying you. You are just a consultant. There are many ways to work in this America that if you don't understand, this is not Africa where you go and look for, or some other area where there is no job. America, man. So don't if you see somebody in this struggle in America, know that person loves this struggle. I'm telling you, because the time you waste, you can work 3 jobs in America, 3. So when I hear people talking about this, if you see us here now like this, as I'm talking on this studio now, I can still be at work, because all jobs in America you can do overtime. All jobs in America there's overtime. So when I see people making that statement, oh, these people in America, oh, jobless, or do this or do this, is the love and commitment for the struggle. That's all what I can tell you. If you see somebody spending the little time that they get to talk to you or to go for a meeting or having this, know that person has had in this struggle, because that person could have been in his job doing overtime or working the second job. Just want to make that clear. But let's understand what is going on in this struggle, that we need a president who knows where to go and what time to go. Because there are a lot of experiences that we have seen in this struggle that many of the presidents don't even know who to talk to. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know where to go. They will be spending time with doing some unnecessary things. Look, when they talk of misappropriation, if you look at my trip to Boya, most of the funds were not eaten by SACCO alone. You see, it was because of lack of money management. Money management. Listen, if your father gives you $100, for example, to use for 5 days, and you use it for 1 day, what happens for the other 4 days that you are going to school? That is what we call misappropriation. That is how my trip to Boya got missing, because it was not managed well, because lack of experience. People do not have experience to manage money. Comes now to the draft. The first draft was handled entirely by the government. So counties had to go and ask for their money from the federal government, and you don't even see what is given to you. You see, the second draft now was handed to most of the LGAs, but the government of SACCO still held some money. And during the time of transition, they never gave the county the county and LGAs money back. Yes, a lot of counties never got their monies back from the federal government. So that is what we call mismanagement, misappropriation of money. And if you don't have skill in doing that, then you're not correct to lead. Secretary Chris is an example of who can manage very well. He managed ABC TV, he managed ABS TV, he managed SCBC TV, because he created the TVs by himself. And you have to manage it. You have to produce the shows. You have to do everything as a Secretary of State for Communication. So I'm bringing this because it's good that when you have a leadership, you know where the mistake and those fault comes from, and how you can forge ahead so that you don't commit the same mistake. Because as many people know, when you do the same thing over and over, the wrong thing over and over, you will still get the same result. You still get the same wrong result, because you are doing the same wrong thing over and over. Let's not do the same thing like that, the same mistakes. Let's learn to correct those mistakes moving forward. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'll be coming in next episode to still talk about the debate, and moving forward towards see how we can talk about some other issues when it comes to the struggle. And I just want you to stay put, and God bless all those who have been here watching from all over Ambazonia. I just want to thank you for being there, and always please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're watching through YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching through Facebook, share and share and share. Our next episode will still be on this presidential debate, presidential campaign. So just stay put, and God bless you all, and stay blessed all the time.